Even though Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals are over, the grind don't stop. I have been non-stop buying and looking for more parts and deals to get some new builds going. I even dusted off my laptop so I don't have to be stuck in my office all the time. So when I'm just relaxing, watching a show or whatever, I can still look for deals. Well, until my laptop started blue screening. But I'll explain how I fixed that later. Now let's pick up where we left off from the last video. While I was packing up this build from the last video, I got a message from someone around my area looking to get a PC build for their 7-year-old for a Christmas present. I had already ordered some of the parts on Black Friday and eBay, so here's the build that I plan on doing. I got this Ryzen 5 5600X off of Amazon on Black Friday for $100, a 2x8 kit of Timetech Pinnacle conduit, which have been my go-to kit for RAM because of the price. To cool off this 5600X, I went with the Thermalright Assassin King for a CPU cooler. I usually go with the Assassin Spirit because I like the RGB ring around the fan, but the Assassin King is just a bit cheaper. I'm trying to keep this on a tight budget, so for the storage, I went with the 500GB KelV Craze. These also have been my go-to for storage drives. They have speeds up to 5000 megabytes per second, and it's a Gen 4 drive. The last 3 things I got off of Amazon was the Sama PC case, a 650 watt PVA Galaxy power supply, and white cable extensions. eBay is where I bought the motherboard and the graphics card. For the motherboard, I got an Asus Prime B550 Plus, the Wi-Fi version, which is also a plus. And for the graphics card, I got a RTX 3060 Ti, which I bought a while back. I kind of overpaid for it a bit. At the time, I was looking for a RTX 3070 and wasn't paying attention to the listing, but with all the deals that I got on the rest of the parts on this build, it'll all work out. I'm waiting for the case to come in, but since I have most of the parts, I'm going to get the Windows installed and all the drivers, so that way when the case comes, most of the build will be complete. I'm all about time management, so if there's anything I can do to get ahead while waiting, this is definitely a good way. Also, if you're looking for a way to bypass Windows 11 where it wants you to sign in, you can check out this video where I explain how to do it. While we wait for the case to come in, let me fill you in on the whole laptop issue. The laptop would act extremely strange. When I would click on certain things on the desktop, it just wouldn't show up. The screen would randomly flicker, and it would run extremely slow and ultimately blue screen. I assumed it was a bad RAM, so what I did was take one stick out since there is a 4GB RAM soldered onto the motherboard. And when I did that, the blue screening stopped happening. But then after a while when using the laptop, the Wi-Fi would stop working since I had taken out that one stick. So I ended up ordering a new 8GB stick, which after some research, this laptop could hold up to 20GB of RAM. But I stuck with the 8GB since I won't be needing that much. After swapping in the new RAM, the laptop was running smooth and I haven't had it crash since. So I'm just curious if anyone would know, why would the Wi-Fi not work when I had taken out the one stick of RAM? Let me know down in the comments. Now let's get back to this build. The PC case finally arrived, so let's skip ahead and check out the final product. The build is all complete, and now to do some stress testing. Every PC build goes through stress testing before it goes out to the customer or gets shipped out. I stress test the CPU and the graphics card just to make sure temperatures are good, and of course run some games to make sure everything is stable. I'm not sure what games will be played. I always test my PC builds with Warzone or Fortnite since these are the most popular games. While I was packing up this PC, I got an email through my website from someone local, and it says, "I'm hoping you can take on the job of rebuilding / troubleshooting my gaming PC. I try to take my setup from an ATX to a micro ATX with a new motherboard and GPU. The system was running fine before the disassembly. My computer isn't getting power, but the PSU tested fine and the cables are plugged in. I can't figure out what's going wrong for the life of me. I'm local to the Lowell area and I can deliver all the parts. Please let me know if you can help. Thanks." After some back and forth, we agreed on meeting so he can drop off the PC. He's also looking to upgrade the CPU and of course, putting his build back together. I'm not sure if it'll make it in this video, so let me know down in the comments if you would like to see a video of this build / rebuild. Until then, like I said in the beginning of the video, I've been buying a lot of parts so I can keep the builds going. So let's do some unboxing and see what showed up. Alright, I'm gonna guess CPU since it's a small package. This is a Ryzen 7 5800X that I bought. First thing I do is check to make sure the pins are not bent. You'd be surprised how many times you get a CPU with a bent pin. but this one's looking pretty good. I think it's good. Let's move on to the next one. Alright. Looks like another CPU box. Not sure what this is. This must be the CPU cooler. And the CPU is actually inside this box. That's a first. It's like a jewelry box. This is a Ryzen 5 5600 I got. Let's take a look. Oh, looks like we got some bent pins in this corner. I think I see a couple more bent pins. If you make it to the end of the video, I'll show you how I re-bend these pins. But let's move on to the next box. Okay, here we got a B550 motherboard, which I also need one more. Here's a bag of screws. Not sure what's inside this. Nice, an IO shield. Really gotta pay attention to the listings because I hate when they do not include the IO shield. Alright, looks like another B550 motherboard. Got the Wi-Fi version, which is always a plus. Make sure the IO shield's here. And the IO shield, which is still in the plastic. I've been dying to open this up. No, it's not a 4070. I really hate how they ship this just like this, not inside a box. And of course, UPS just left it 5 feet away from my door on the floor. Alright. I thought this was going to be my 4060 that I got, but it's actually an RTX 2060 I got for a decent deal. I think I'll pair this with the 5600 that I got. Speaking of the 5600, if you made it this far, you're the best. So here's how I fix bent pins on CPUs when I get them. Don't need anything crazy. I just use my phone on a tripod and have it set on video and just zoom in. You can really see the pins good enough to re-bend them. This one's probably the worst out of all of them. I just use a razor knife or an X-Acto knife and apply small pressure on the sides to get it straightened out. Here's another one in a different corner. Just needs a slight tweak. There we go. Now the next thing to do is to see if this goes into the socket with no problem. And if it doesn't go as smooth like it is right now, just need to recheck the pins. Looks like this one just needs a bit more tweaking. Now let's try the socket again. And just like that, it pops right in. Alright, so I do have more parts coming in, just not sure how the unboxing part of the video is gonna do. It's the first time trying it out, and honestly it could just tank the video. But if you guys would like me to include more unboxing, just let me know down in the comments. See you on the next one.